G'day guys, welcome back. Look at this huge canvas I'm going to do today. This is a 50 centimetre by 100 centimetre, and in inches that is, I wrote it down, 20 inches by 40 inches. So big canvas, and I am going to do a swipe for you today. Rightio, let's mark those corners in. I've got my plastic sheets ready to go. These were just document holders that I've cut up. I've got my strips of paper towel ready to go. So with swipes you have to be very organised, so everything has to be ready to go. I'll just move that out of the way. My mix I'm using is 70% Elmer's glue all, 30% water. You can use any glue. If you're in Australia, if you want to use school glue, that's fine. 70-30, and then I've mixed that 1.5 times of the pouring medium to 1 part paint. So in these big cups here, I've got 225 grams of pouring medium to 150 grams of paint, and I'm using my global. So 225 to 150, that's 1.5 to 1. I've got white, and I've got a lime green that I've made. It's just light green and yellow together. And then this one is called Deep Sea. It's a really dark greeny blue colour. Deep Space is my navy. And then Peacock. This is just a pale turquoise aqua colour. Righty-o. Now my swipe colour, I'm using white to swipe with. I should show you the difference between different swipe colours. This swipe is 2 to 1. So I've got 100 grams of pouring medium and 50 grams of paint. I'll show you what I mean by the difference you get. That's just a little white one there, white swipe, as opposed to this one here. A bit bigger, but it's the black swipe. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, but have a little think about it. What's different? Obviously, apart from the colour. These are all pretty much big cells here with the white swipe. If you look at the black swipe, look at all these little tiny bubbles. Little tiny cells that pop up. Now, they pop up even before I've torched. So there's a lot of them. It kind of looks like champagne little bubbles. So that's the difference. Don't ask me why. It just is. I don't know. Just a bit strange. So the white gives you a more even swipe without those lots of little bubbles. For cells, I'm going with the treadmill silicone, and I've decided I'm going to put 8 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It comes out really fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You don't even need to squeeze it. Okay. Yeah, that'll be enough. 8 drops. Give it a good stir in, because you need to get that oil down to the bottom too. So I'm going to do a reflection swipe today, which is, you've seen me do them before. I've done quite a lot of them. I've been doing these swipes for about 2 years. Admittedly, when I started, I was just doing Floetrol and paint, but I moved up to the glue and water. So I'm going to swipe from the middle down, turn the canvas, swipe from the middle up. And that is called, well, I call it a reflection swipe, because you're getting similar sort of views on either side. I'm just going to turn the aircon on. Getting a bit warm in my studio. There we go. Righto, so I'm ready to go. I was debating whether to pour in ribbons this way and then swipe down. You get a particular look. If you pour up and down and then swipe, you get more of a sort of a linear look, and I think that's what I'm going to do today. but not exactly the same. I'm going to sort of go up and down on this side, up and down on that side, so that my stripes aren't exactly the same, if that makes sense. Righto, I hope I've got enough paint. So I'm just going to ziggy-zag up a little bit like this. And some of the lime green. Posty's here. He always has to toot, doesn't he? I'm just going to pause it. Have to sign for some parcels. Rightio, what am I up to? Aqua. Doesn't matter if you sort of zigzag up there a little bit more than others. Just don't want it too sort of symmetrical. Oops, I'm getting big blobs up the top there. I will be tilting this. Okay, now how am I going to do this? Do some over here. Let's reach up. Do that little bit there. And some of the turquoise up there. So I just don't want them to be exactly the same. I don't know. There's no right or wrong. Just go for it. I think I've done, no, I haven't done that one. We need a little bit more navy down here. Well, it looks as if I got a good amount of paint, doesn't it? I was wondering whether I'd have enough. Okay, now my white, I just want to drizzle on. Do I want any more paint before I do anything else? Now I'm just going to add a little bit more. Really love the navy, so I'll put a bit more of the navy on. And of course the aqua. That can sort of go ziggy zaggy up. Rightio. I think that'll do. Now I just want to drizzle the white. I'm going to swipe with the white, but you only get a very sort of a thin coating of the white, so I'd like a little bit more. So I'm just going to zag that up, and again I don't want my lines to be too symmetrical, so just off center that white a little bit, like so. Righto, now I'm going to move these out of the way because now I'm going to tilt. It's a big canvas, so hopefully I'll be able to tilt it okay. I've had to put my big puppy pedal pads under here. I don't mind going a little bit to the side, but really I want to try and keep my lines if possible. So just move it around. There's an area here that's going to take a lot of tilting. By the time I've tilted that, that's all going to be gone off. So I'm going to add a little bit more paint just there. Hopefully this video won't be too long. Because it takes a while to cover a big canvas, doesn't it? Right, I think we're over. Over, yes, we're over. Now, I do want to cover my sides, so let's go off to the corner. Just help that along a little bit. I do enjoy doing swipes, and I've done some really big swipes. Okay, that's covered. Go the other way and just get to that top corner there. Let the paint run over the edge as well. I've got this canvas up on giant push pins just to keep it up off the table, so you can get your fingers under there. Alrighty, now I think I'm going to have to go around the other side of the table. This will do, I'll just stand here. Sorry if you can't see at the moment. I'm just doing exactly the same thing. Tilting the paint over the edge here. You don't want your paint to run too fast. If it's flowing really fast, then it's going to be too thin. So just be aware of that. And if it's flowing too slowly, then it's going to be too thick. So it's really just a practice. All comes down to just practicing experience as to the thickness. But if you're in Australia, if you're using global paints, you can follow my 1.5 to 1 pouring medium to paint, and you should be okay. If you're overseas and maybe you're using Liquitex Basics, I would go 2 to 1. 2 to 1, so 2 parts pouring medium, 1 part Liquitex Basics, because it's a thicker paint. Righto, I just need to get to this edge here. These colours are amazing, aren't they? You just leave it like that. So pretty. Oops, I've got to put this, I should have fixed it up before I started. I've just got this little bit of puppy piddle pad under here. I don't think I can get it back in there now. Almost done with that corner. Let me see if I can get it back under there. There's a little tiny gap between the timber and the canvas. Let's see if I can get it in there. Oh no, I can't, because I can't tip it. Never mind. Right. I'll just finish this corner down here. Doesn't want to move terribly much. I think I'll just pour a little bit of paint over the corner there. As I said, it's a big canvas. It takes a lot of paint to get all the way over to that corner. I'll just tip it the other way, because I've got all the weight of the paint down my end now. I'm just going to kind of straighten it up a little bit. And you don't want to leave too much paint on your canvas. Otherwise, once you swipe and you've got your cells, there's too much paint, and the cells just keep growing and growing because there's a lot of paint on the surface. So if you've got a little bit less paint, once your cells pop up, they'll kind of stay in shape and where they're supposed to stay. So if you're swiping and your cells look good and then they go all wobbly and huge, then that's a good indication that your mix is too thin. Now I'm just going to pop a little bit of this green here and let it run over the edge, because I haven't quite got this edge yet. The good thing about a swipe is you don't have to be that particular, you know, you can just throw paint here and there and it'll be fine. There we go. Righty-o. Now, I don't think I need to add any more paint anywhere. I'm happy happy, am I? I think maybe a little bit more navy just here. My navy's kind of disappeared. Alrighty. Now I've got on the side over here, I've got some spare puppy pedal pad that I'm going to throw my dirty plastic sheet straight onto, just so that it's keeping things a little bit clean. Okay. Swiping is so messy. Now the next thing I need to do is find out where my centre is and pour my white on. Just make sure you don't get mixed up with which white is white, because this white, the swiping white's 2 to 1, and your other white that I added on, just drizzled a little bit here and there, was 1.5 to 1. Now, where's my centre? About there-ish. So when you do this, pour a puddle there, because if you pour it straight on here, you're going to get a big blob. So pour it there, and then run across. Alrighty, I think that's about all I want. I don't want too much. You're better off doing a little thin stripe and adding more if you need to. Now this is where my paper towel comes into. I folded it up. I pop that there, and then with my plastic, after I've dragged it, I can wipe it straight onto that paper towel. It just makes things a lot easier. Hope I haven't left too much white on there. Now I need to take half the white for this side, leave the other half for that side. Just try and touch the white and drag towards you. And then that goes straight onto that paper towel there. Wipe it off. Now I'm very wary not to use that same edge again, because it's got paint on it and I want a nice clean white stripe down the middle. So I'm going to turn it over so that I've got a clean bit of plastic to use again, and I overlap my swipe just a touch. Wait for it to give good contact, and off you go. Not too fast or it'll skip and you might miss a little piece. What did I do down there? It looks as if I've missed a bit. Now I've used both sides of that, so for me I'm going to put it over here and get another one. As I said, I want to keep that white stripe. I need to move my cups out of the way. Plastic is going to touch them. I have no idea how I'm going to turn this. Overlap a little bit, half the white, and off you go. So it looks as if I'm getting the stripes that I wanted. So yay there. Look at those stripies. I'm not going to go over this again, because if I swipe again, this section's going to be different. It's going to be a different colour. So I'm just going to have to hope that some cells pop up under there. Now I'm going to have to try and turn this baby. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go around your side, and I'm just going to reach over. Hopefully I can. I'll just move my ladder, because I think it might be a little bit hard to try and turn it. So touch the white, wait for it to get good contact all along your plastic, and off you go. I didn't put any paper towel down there. Whoops, put it here. Now that one has been used both sides. Now this little bit of paper towel can go in the bin. Rightio, I'm going to go around and get another bit of plastic. Looks as if I'm going to use 3 sheets of my plastic for this pour. Whoops, knocking the camera. Let's see if I can get this done without knocking the camera over or anything. Touch the white. Oops, I dipped it a little bit there, which I didn't want to do. Just in there, kind of dipped it a bit. I'm in two minds about whether or not I want to balloon dip through the centre. I thought I'd see what it would look like. I really wanted a nice strong white strip down the centre, but if I'm not going to get that, I may dip. I'm not sure yet. We'll see what happens. Righto, last little bit, turn my plastic over. And overlap just a touch. Oops, I've missed the end. Miss that little tiny bit there. I was too busy watching the other corner. Right, I've still got a clean corner here, so I'm going to have to move things out of the way though here on the left hand side, so I can get the plastic to come down. Just touch that little bit of white there. And I can breathe again. Right, I'm done. Okay, throw this plastic over here out of the way, wipe my hands. Now we can torch. There's a few cells that have popped up already, as you can see. So I'm going to torch, not too much, selective torching. Loving those stripes, you guys. You can see where the little cells are going to form when I go round and round like this with my torch. You can see the little dots that are appearing. Not very much is going to appear in the centre where the white is quite thick. I'm not going to get a lot of cells there. So I'm just going to go over this once and see what's going to happen, see what it looks like. And then I can decide whether or not I want to go again. I'm going to go through the middle just to pop some bubbles and see if there's anything under there, but usually the white is too thick for cells to pop through. It's going round and round in circles. I don't really want any clusters, I just want cells to pop up randomly. I don't want too many, I don't want them kind of all joining together, because when they pop up they will grow, they will continue to grow. So we'll just see how that looks, hey? Turn that off. It's looking pretty. I just wish I had more white there. How pretty is that, you guys? I've got my stripies. So pretty. See, for me to try and touch that up, to put some more white there, is going to be really, really hard, because as I try and level the white out, I'm going to be picking up the colour from underneath, so it's not an option. The only thing I could do is wait for it to totally dry and then go and paint some white through the centre. What do you reckon though? Love, love, love it. It's just this little bit that's upsetting me, but hey, what can you do? Not much. Go a little light torch again, sort of more in the white here, see if I can get anything to come up through the white. Not expecting much, but I'll give it a go. The white's an opaque colour, and where you start, obviously, you know, you've got a thick band of white there and you're dragging it, and as it comes across it thins out, so the cells can pop up easily. But in the centre where it's still quite thick, you do get that bar of white, and I really like that look. Some people don't, I do. It kind of gives almost a negative space look, somewhere for the eye to rest, because it's quite busy, the whole thing's, you know, it's quite a busy painting with all these cells. As you can see, I'm just taking my time bringing the cells up. few more little ones popping up here. I'll wait and see what's going to happen and then decide if I want to do more. It's kind of like a snowstorm, isn't it? It's so pretty. Actually, I should see if I can get anything down here where I've missed a little bit down here. I don't know what I did down there. I must have been watching something else. Same there. I'll just put a few cells in it and hopefully it'll disguise it a bit. Well, I got a bit close there. Which is what I wasn't wanting to do. I wanted my cells to be separate, stand on their own, be noticed. Rightio, let me stand over here and look. Yeah, so pretty. Go around here. Oops, now I'm in the lights. Got a light over there behind me. Do I want to do anything in the middle? I was in two minds about balloon dipping. It's just this bit. If I didn't have that bit, I wouldn't balloon dip. And the other thing, because I don't have any cells down the centre, I won't get petals. So I'll just get like a starburst sort of a thing. I won't actually get petals because there's no cells there. I think I'll just leave it, and I can always, as I said earlier, I can always just pour some white over that centre bit. Oh, I don't know, I can't decide, you guys. I let this painting sit for about half an hour, and as you can see, the cells have grown a little bit. The navy blue is kind of bleeding into the white a little bit. Not that happy with it, so I'm going to have another little play with it. I've got a little bit of white here. This is my swipe white. I've made it a touch thicker, just so that hopefully when I swipe again, these cells may stay more in shape rather than sort of bleeding like they are. So I'm just going to put a little bit of white through the centre. It wasn't exactly a middle, was it? And I am going to do a few little balloon dips, I think. Now let me catch some of this white paint. As I said, it's a little bit thicker, so I'll just catch some of that and drag across. And because I'm going to balloon dip through the middle, I'm not fussed about having some extra of the colour there, so I'll just use this same side. I don't mind if I get extra colour across the white there. So hopefully I haven't got too much white over this, but we'll see. We shall see. I might come back and fix up that little bit there with a bit of card. Now I'm going to have to move this ladder away again so I can get behind here. And I didn't put down paper towel on this side again. Never mind. So as I said, I'm going to balloon dip, so I'm not that fussed about my white centre like I was last time. I think if the paint hadn't bled, I would have been happier with it, but my navy has sort of bled. Oops, I've missed a bit. I'm going to have to go again. My navy had bled into the white. I've been having trouble with the navy and the white lately. I don't know if it's because the navy is a transparent colour. It's going to take a little bit more of the white off. try and get this edge here. Take a little bit more of that white off, get the edge. And a little bit more of the white off here. It's a bit thick. Oops, I'm not even taking it off there. Okay. Alrighty. So totally different look. Give my hands a bit of a clean. So yeah, when I started this, I just didn't know if I wanted to have that band of white through the center. I kind of thought I did. But then when I saw that the blue was bleeding into it, I just thought, no, I don't like it anymore. Went and sat down for half an hour, had to think about it. And I'm here again, going again. This white here might be a bit thick. I might have to drag some of that off. Cells, up you come. So if your paint's a bit thick, your cells won't come through. You might have to swipe a little bit more off to get the cells to come up through your white. As I said, I did make the white a little bit thicker, trying to control my cells so that they wouldn't stretch out of shape. Once the cells pop up and the mix is too thin, they grow too much. So that's why I just made my white a little bit thicker. But now it may be too thick because they're not coming up at all. So I may have to actually swipe through there again. We'll see. Yeah, I think I'm going to just go again through here and try and get some more of that white off. I like those. I'll just start here and drag some of this white paint off. So there's no right or wrong with swipes. They're very forgiving. You can go over them. I'm just thinking, might take some, there's a little white there as well, so I might take some of that off as well. There we go. I'll torch that, see what that looks like. I'm going to have a lot of plastic to wash up, that's for sure. Be careful, obviously you're not taking too much paint off your surface, you have nothing left. But I think I'm happier with that. Look at that. Torch over here, see what this looks like. I can always go over it again if I want to. Again, I don't want too many cells. I'd like to be able to see the stripy background. Loving this section. There's quite a lot of white there. I may have to take some of that white off. So the cells are staying smaller because my white paint is a little bit thicker and I've taken more paint off the surface. So as I said earlier, if you take more paint off the surface, it's not, you don't have as much on there obviously, so when your cells do pop up, they can't spread as much because there's more resistance on them. Okay, let's torch that section Loving those strappies. It's like seaweed, isn't it? Not too much torching. Yes, I'm liking these smaller cells better. I think I might just take that little bit off there again, and then that might do it. Let's have a look. So these ones here, I mean, they are gorgeous. Those ones. Do I want to? Do I not want to? They have grown bigger, but then they've been there longer. These still may grow that size. I think I'm going to leave it for now. I like how there's a little bit more white in that. I'll just see if I can torch in there, see if anything will pop up. This little section here, there's too much white in there. Do I want to do that bit? Decisions. If this was alive, guys could yell out to me. All right, let's take a little bit of this white off here. Just a bit. Going slowly with my torching a little bit, waiting, and come back if I need to. Still not much happening over here. I'm torching, but it's very thick, so I'm getting really tiny little cells there. There's that fly again. Alrighty, what do you think? I really like this stripy section here. More colours come through. Will I or won't I? Decisions. Swiping through here. I probably should, shouldn't I? Then it'll be more like that side. If you start swiping through, the plastic kind of cuts into some of the cells like it did here. So if you're going to do the whole thing, you need to sort of do the whole thing and then torch, because otherwise you start swiping into your cells and you're breaking your cells and things like that. Let's have a look. Stand back here. I think it's okay, guys. Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm going to leave it. I actually quite like the amount. It's still got some white here and there. Righty-o, now I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to put down some new paper towel, and I'm going to do some balloon dipping. Oh God, I'm so indecisive today. I really like how it is at the moment, but you can see the line. You can see the join in the middle there. Sometimes I just swipe from one edge, from the top, and then you don't get that center line. But because I have got some cells there, I think, well, I know that the cells will be really quite pretty when they do pop up. I'm going to go through the center a little bit more, just in the middle there. I want to leave some negative space. I don't want the whole thing just to be cells. Righty-o, I've got my glove blown up. I prefer these because, oh my God, it scared me. Oh, I was showing you how squishy it was. Let me grab another one. Righty-o. Oh, this has been an effort it today, I tell you. Take my gloves off, blow up another balloon. Try not to scare the living daylights out of everybody when it goes bang. Okay, I don't like overfilling them, just half, I guess. Just tie a knot in that, and then I can put my gloves back on. It's just been an ordeal, this painting. Sometimes they just are, aren't they? I'll let some air out, it's a bit thick. Sorry, you guys. Be patient. I do like that as is, don't get me wrong. I just don't like how you can see the join through the centre. So I'll do some, it's fighting with my knot here. I'll do some balloons, just sort of zigzag it through to disguise that white strip down, or the line down the centre. Rightio. It's a bit squishy. I'm going to be scared of doing that every time now in case it bursts. Rightio. So I'm just going to zigzag up and down to break up that line. I don't think I want them to be too big. Hopefully I haven't ruined it, but hey, I'm playing, I'm having fun. So a bit off centre. And then off centre up that way a little bit. You're going to have to make sure that you pick up your little finger, because this end one always wants to get into the painting. So you have to make sure that he's out of the way. And as you can see, there's not much paint left on the surface with all those swipes that I've done. So hopefully I won't have to go over and over like I would normally do. Liking that dark green that's coming through. That's looking really pretty against the white. And then one more, oops, see, I nearly lost that finger. Make sure you grab that finger. And I know you can use a balloon, you don't have the issues with the fingers and the knots, but the balloons are a little bit more solid. I just prefer the gloves, they're a bit more soft, a bit squishier. I think I just want to make them a little bit bigger. Actually, I might leave that one because there's not much paint there. If you can see the canvas through, you can dip into one of your others like this and then go straight over there and dip into him so that you're giving him some colour. And I'm just going to go over all of them because I haven't got that much paint left on the surface anymore. Okay, there we go. I think that will do. Played around with this painting enough today. But yeah, I'm happy with the result. Do I sound happy? I am. I'm just a bit over it. Okay, and I've got a big mess to clean up because I've got all these plastics to clean up and wash. Put that under there. Actually, I'll turn it around and then I can bring the camera down and you can see. You don't want to see my mess, do you? Rightio. Take you down for a close-up. So you can still see the stripes, the stripy looks. Climb back up here. I don't know, do you guys prefer it this way? Do you prefer it the other way with the white stripe through the centre? I guess this flows more, doesn't it? Certainly does flow more. Just looks more cohesive, I guess, without having the big stripe down the centre. The cells are really pretty. They haven't grown too big. because as I stated earlier, I had mixed up a little bit more paint and just made it a little bit thicker and took quite a lot of paint off the surface, so they didn't grow so much when they popped up. The navy still may bleed into the white. Hopefully it won't, because my white's thicker now, but that is pretty gorgeous. Love, love, love it. Okay, thanks for watching, bearing with me for all this time. It was a long pour, wasn't it? All right, I'll see you for the next one. Hopefully shorter. Bye for now.